All right, so just a review video on Google Keep. Just a reminder, Google Keep is a list-making application that is available through Google. You can put it on your phone, you can put it on your computer, you can put it in Google Chrome. All of these are ways to access Google Keep. And so if you have it on your computer, you can download the Chrome and have it here. You can download it through the App Store and download Google Keep. It is located here on your desktop. You can also go into apps in the web store and download it as a Chrome extension, which I have here, and it automatically saves anything I have to Google Keep. Okay. You will notice that once you have that application, anytime you are in a Google Doc or a Google Slides, you will notice on this right-hand side, you have your calendar option, you have Keep, and then you also have tasks. And so we're going to use that a little later on in order to import things from Keep into your documents. But Google Keep is a great organization tool. I use it to make my shopping list all the time, but I also use it for a lot of school-related options as well. And so in Google Keep, just to kind of show you, this is what it looks like on the desktop. Okay, you can go in and you can create, all you have to do is start taking a note, and you can give the note a title, and then you just start taking a note. You have options to add labels, add drawings, and you can show checkboxes. If you're making a list to check off, that's a good one to use there as well, or you cannot have them. You can change colors. Now, there are a very limited selection of colors, but you can change based on what you're doing. You can have a remind to you. You can set a date and a time, and it will pop up on your phone or your computer that is there. Okay, you can also add collaborators to a specific note. They don't have access to all of your notes, but you can add a collaborator to a specific note, which is sometimes a useful tool. You can archive this note, which basically means delete it, but it moves into your archive folder where then you manually have to move it to trash in order to delete it. You can also add images, okay, to any. And you can also pin, if it's a very important note, something you always want at the top, you may pin that note to the very top so that every time you come in, it is at the very top of your list. And so you can do it that way. You can do a new note with drawings. So if you're on a iPad or a phone and you have a pen or you have the little styluses, and you're very good at that, I'm not. But you also have, you can make a note with an image. And so it's a very simple tool to use. I like to use it a lot. You can see I take notes in professional developments, NC ties. I just kind of keep things all put together so that I know. And see, notice here, I have PD that I was looking at, and I also have a link. Any link I've put in here, I can simply go through here and pick that particular option. And so that's really nice, and it's easy and accessible wherever I need it. Okay, so using Google Keep to create, this is not necessarily with Bitmoji. This is totally separate. Using Google Keep in order to pull in responses on, if you're grading an essay, you're grading a paper, you're grading something digitally in Google Docs or in Google Slides. And a lot of times if you're grading an essay, oh, you made a good point here, good point. Or you may have a question that you're seeming to ask every student. They just didn't quite get that concept. And so you can put that as a note in Google Keep, and we're going to see how that works. And so what you do is you simply create, you'll go into Google Keep, and let's just say, I was noticing students were missing part of this learning target. And so I might have the note, great information, but how does that relate back to our main idea? Maybe that is what they're missing there. Let's say I wanted that in a color just to be colorful, and then I have it on here, and so it shows up in my Google Keep. All right, so that's how you create a note. You can organize them with colors, with hashtags. A lot of times what you can do is the hashtag is a good way to search for it. You can put it in the title box and you can search for it. All right, so let's just say that I was grading this presentation. Okay. And I was looking through there and I was wanting to ask the same question over and over, or I was going to put great job here. You made a great point. How many times as a history or English person do we constantly have that same response? And it's a valid response. We want them to know, I saw it, it's valid, it's good, but we don't want to have to keep typing it 8 or 9 times. And so if we click on Google Keep over here, it's going to load our Google Keep. And so all we have to do at that point is we can pull this onto the slide. Okay. What you can also do is if you are making comments, okay, and you notice a lot of times there, you can pull that and say, okay, here's my comment section, okay. It's a good way. Let me show you in a Google Doc how this might look. And keeping in mind that with these, you do not have editing power. So it's going to pull it in a different, you're not going to have access to editing power. So this Google Doc is going to give me a look at what yours would look like. Here you have suggesting power. You cannot edit, okay? You can make suggestions, that kind of thing. So let's say you were grading an essay and you had that part right there. And so you said, okay, I want to pull this in. I want them to know that that's great information, but it's not wanting to pull it in. Add to document. Okay. Notice that it adds that in. Okay. It wasn't wanting to pull in. Sometimes you can just pull it in and it goes. It adds that comment for you. You didn't have to type that 12 times. You simply go to the dots and you click add to document. So let's say this was another comment that I was making here and I click add to document. And then later on down the road, I found, okay, way to go. This is great information. I'm going to add that to the document. So what you might want to do is have your notes kind of color coded. That green are ones that you use for praise, blue or purple maybe questions and that kind of thing. And so that way, as you scroll down through here, you know what you're looking for in that aspect. And so that's just an easy way. Instead of typing the same thing over and over, you can just pull that information in. Keep in mind, it works the best when you're in a presentation that you can't edit, okay? When you can edit the information, it doesn't work the same way, okay? All right, so that's how you would use Google Keep, okay? You just drag and drop or click add to document. If it's not dragging and dropping all the time, it does mess up on that. Just click the little dots and click add to slide, okay, or add to document, and it will add that information in for you.